Hello. I wanted to share a little bit of information because I only have a little bit of information about dimensions. And this is for spiritual and entertainment purposes only, dear wonderful subscribers. But I've been writing things down as they come to me. And I wanted to share with you some examples of multidimensionality. In first dimension, let's imagine that as a dot. You can only go forward or backward. Now, second dimension, in second you can see your shadow. That's second. Third, of course, as we all know so well, is physical. In all its physicality. And that physicality reaches through because our bodies are interconnected, like all of life is interconnected. So we have a physical body, a mental body, an emotional body, and a spiritual body, as I'm sure you all know. But those don't move independently, they move together. So some will lag, and some will move forward, some will drag, and you end up with growth. Not easy, and it's not always fun, but it's absolutely wonderfully worth it. And I think if let me get back on task, because this is where I go off the track, is when I start ad-libbing. So let me stick to my notes. Fourth dimension. It's very emotional. Lots of reflection. You can observe time jumps here. Time jumps would be like all the clocks in my home I set to the same time. It's easier for cooking, or if you're wanting to watch a program. It's easier if you have the same time in all your rooms. And time jumps are felt when you wake up and you go to the other end of the house and it's 2 hours later. That's a time jump. Pretty simple. Nothing to worry about. Just to make note of it. Because of course this is assuming that every day you are protecting yourself with the Diamond Light prayer, or a prayer of your own making that speaks to your own heart and soul and your own modalities. We are here to help each other and lift each other up, not copy each other. And boy, I tell you, I have learned that the hard way. I have a tendency to want to earn things. And as my very loving husband pointed out, we don't earn this. We are who we are. We are a light family. We ascend. We're not here to earn it, which is where I get stuck sometimes. It's like some bizarre default setting that I'm having to undo and let go of. As Mother ascends, I am ascending with her. So those last vestiges of third, the sticky emotions way down there at the bottom where the seed packet is, that part is now being pried loose. How? By friction, by inner friction, by inner turmoil, by questioning yourself. So the first thing to do is to go within. And what the holy heck does that mean, huh? You can start by standing up, holding your body like in a hug on your shoulders. And you can focus on the warmth of your heart, of your high heart. You can feel its warmth. When you feel its warmth right there, put your hand there. This is the life force inside you. This life force inside you is Source, Great Spirit, in every living thing. So you can never be separated from Source. But you can embody more of it. You can embody and dance with the great mystery if you have courage and curiosity and love and compassion. Dimension 5. And this is the one that's just, we're making such a big deal out of it because what we're doing here is we're creating the fifth dimension in our spiritual bodies, where our spiritual body is becoming awake and we're experiencing unconditional love. I hope first towards ourselves and one another and others, the ones we perceive as other that we don't even know, or the ones that are opposite from us in attitudes. This will happen within a soul group because we come as a family of light, as a soul group, to change, to quicken systems. The reason we are so very good at this is because we surrender to our highest good and we surrender to Creator. We are of service. So we go into systems and we go in completely forgetting everything. All of it. And we acclimate to the new system and the new body. And we may be here for eons. We don't really know. For many of us, this is the only planet we have current awareness of. There is a reason for that. She asked us to come here to help. Not because there was a problem, but because it would help us advance in our understanding of how Source moves through all of life. And we would come to here to experience it. How exciting. How exciting, we thought. And boy, is it ever. Can I stop and get a drink of water? Now, making fifth dimension our seat of consciousness, that's the beginning. But we move through dimensions like water, like light. Sometimes it's suggested to us to believe that we're in third, or now I'm solidly in fifth. But I see this as we move through dimensions all the time. When we're asleep, we go to 10th and above, 9th and above, wherever, I can only speak for myself, and I'm asleep, how do I know? But, back to dimensions. Sixth dimension, expanded oneness awareness, more universal consciousness. But sixth is also where third dimension moves to 6 and 9. 6 creates that tension that creates actual physical change within the system. 9, I believe, is connects us to the loving consciousness of Mother's spirit teams and our spirit teams, so we can best coordinate our energetic efforts in assisting her and keeping updated with her on what are the needs of the day. She is always going to tell us to love ourselves first, like she does, because she loves all her children, even the ones we don't particularly like at all. She loves all her children. And she asked us to help raise consciousness. And we said yes. And here we are, doing it. My husband asked me a very, very brilliant question as he sees me being emotional about all of this. Sometimes too much, sometimes definitely out of balance with that emotion. And he asked me, he said, it sounds like you're almost afraid of ascending. And that just brought me up short. And I thought, well, I guess I am a little bit afraid of ascending because it's the unknown. I'm afraid of the unknown because I'm a puny human right now. And this body is a puny human. But love is the driving force, so there's really nothing to fear, is there? If I keep surrendering to my highest good and let go of the struggle and surrendering to my highest good, all will be well. Because as we develop, our awareness grows. And as our awareness grows, new abilities come in. We don't always understand these or how to use them. So that's why this emphasis on praying, on saying a good prayer and staying grounded. It's a way of making your awareness responsible for your energy, your choices, your mental body, your emotional body, so that you can live more in alignment, showing more love, and being more at ease in your own skin, in your own self. So I think the seventh dimension is spirit. More expansion, larger awareness, and it just goes on that way. That's all I can see from here. I've heard that there are ascended masters in the 10th. I believe that. The 9th dimension, that could be about cosmos, more ascended masters, but thinking about things in more of a cosmos sort of way. If we look at Lemurian astrology, we find that the months are beings that we can ask for help and live in alignment with, so that we're in alignment with the energies of Earth, because it's much easier to flow with her stream than flow against it. Wow, is that a mouthful? So that is the purpose of making sure that you are grounded and protected, because your awareness and your understandings are going to change. So things that were understood a certain way, like, let me give you an example. This morning, I did a forgiveness prayer. I stood in star formation, which is, here, let me turn the camera around for this part. Not sure if I know how to do that. Okay, I'll just keep telling you about it. Okay, if you stand with your legs apart, like at hip, if you're able, hip apart. There's your legs, standing on floor, arms out, standing straight. Breathe in through your nose. Excuse me, blow my nose. So back to the example of this morning. Standing, facing east in star position, which is just, I was inspired to do this a couple of days ago. I was standing there and I was saying, I'm going to forgive this person in my life that I had seen as someone who did great damage to me as a child. And I was feeling emotional about it, and I was praying out loud about it and asking Archangel, I call him Uncle Metatron, and Archangel Michael and Mother to help me do this and cleanse me of this and help me bring in more light to cleanse my own emotional body and release attachments, release the attachment to struggle that seems to be my silly default setting that I must pry loose, outgrow, ascend out of, however you want to say it. And while I was saying that prayer, I realized, profoundly to me, that I'd already forgiven this person a long time ago. I'd already done that a long, long time ago. Many times I'd forgiven this person. And yes, I know there are people that say there will always be shadow and there will always be work. And from my life experience, I must concur that that is true. But I don't think it's where we're headed forever and ever. I think it's part of what we're going through right now as we ascend. This is the gift we are bringing to ourselves and the world around us. To Mother, because she asked. Because Mother loves all her children. She doesn't judge them like we do, and she doesn't judge us. She doesn't judge us. She knows we are carrying as much love as we are able. So while we seek to carry more, I must caution because of my personality, I tend to overdo things. So I started meditating finally, and meditated too much, got my mental body too overstimulated. So it's not a race. We're not supposed to all wake up at the same time. As things change, what happens is Mother has something she wants to see happen, and in the higher dimensions we meet, we talk about it, we make a plan, we enact that plan, we live that plan. As we keep checking in, we need to keep checking in because the plans change. The needs change. It's a fluid thing. In order to create change, there has to be friction. And it is uncomfortable, I agree. But it's how change is created in third dimension. But the effects, while felt so keenly by us, the effects of this work are rippling through all of the dimensions. So try to relax. I know it's not easy. Mother asked, and we said, yes, of course. It was love that brought us here as a soul group. It was love that helped us find each other in this weird online place. And it is love that helps us lift each other up and look for our better natures and walk them forward. So I hope that this helps you. I share it if it, I hope that it helps you stand in your light and know that you are loved, and know that we don't earn ascension, we're already in it. We're going through it now. The changes that we're feeling, some of it is due to the friction needed to enact this change. Some of what we're feeling is because we're becoming more of who we are spiritually. And that can cause some turbulence, and we need to acclimate those changes slowly. And I, for one, am officially asking to slow it down a little bit for me. I don't need to hit the ground running and try to, I don't know, I need to be respectful of myself and others. We're all growing at our own pace. We will get there. Everyone does eventually, but that isn't our domain. Our domain is right in front of us. So remember to walk protected. You are loved. Listen to your inner guidance. Feel that warmth in your heart and ask your question. And remember to thank yourself. Thank Mother, thank the angels, thank the archangels, thank the Lords of Light for protecting us and helping us. And giving us weird random clues. So I think I'll wanted to share this in case other people are needing to hear it. Because realizing it really helped the holy heck out of me. And if I didn't finish that story about forgiving, what I realized was that I'd already forgiven. I told you that part. Okay, let's see, is there anything else? Sometimes when we set about to forgive people, I I had to kind of like, oh, wait a minute, because I was really, being heartfelt and sincere and really praying about that, and I'm like, wait a minute. Before I ever met that person, some patterns had been said, introduced, or what have you. So my perceptions as a child were already altered. We ask for people to enter our life story to teach us particular lessons. Sometimes the lesson for me is to stand up to it and say, no, what you're doing is not okay, and I'm not going to allow it anymore, and no, stop. Sometimes the lesson is for me to be quiet. Sometimes the lesson is for me to speak. The trick is figuring out which one of those wants to do. But as a child, that alters your perception. So some of the things that we have carried forward, we need to let them go. They're coming up not because we did it wrong, not because nothing's wrong. They're coming up again. For a lot of us, they're coming, they're like, whew, whiplash. They're coming through because they're getting released. They're being released. It's part of the ascension process. It's not that you did something wrong. So, like this morning, what I've started to do is call in archangels, and I have a list in my pocket. Archangel Michael, Archangel Gabriel, Archangel Raphael, Archangel Ariel, Archangel Salafiel, Archangel Raguel, Archangel Barachiel, I don't know how to say these names, and Metatron, Archangel Metatron, and ask all of you to bathe us, and the Lords of Light too, please, to bathe us in diamond light. Star position, arms out. Gold and white light, crown chakra, firmly grounded, safe and sound, fully encased by your teams, your guides and angels, your connection to source that is found in your heart. Asking all the archangels to bathe us in diamond light as we are ascending with Mother. And this light helps. It helps the lower densities that we are releasing. It helps them fall away more cleanly, more easily. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And now I drop my arms. I put my arms around myself, up on my shoulders in a nice little hug. Sealing my energy, safe and sound, connected. All day connected. If I start to feel out of connection, I will stop and breathe. Hold. Out. One more time. Hold. Breathe slow. All the way out. Okay. And it is done. It is. Let it be so. Thank you so much for stopping by. I really appreciate it. And I look forward to seeing in the comments what you have to say about this, what you are feeling, and if it brings anything to mind for you. Thank you so much. Bye for now.